Okay, so here are my peas that I grew up at the house in my homemade pots. They're going to go in today. I've had to use chicken wire to support them. I would usually use hazel twigs, but I can't get out to get any at the moment. And here they are, planted and watered. Okay, so bean planting time. It's rained for the last couple of days, and apparently it's going to rain for the next 2 or 3 days as well, so I'm going to take advantage of the wet ground, save me out to water too much. Beans are looking quite nicely in their pots, and hopefully I won't have to keep coming across the next few days with the watering cans to keep them going. So as you can see, they're in these little pots, biodegradable pots that will disintegrate and let the roots grow out. Nice big stone in the bottom here straight away. Oh my god. Yeah, let's dig it out. Look at that. Still quite dry underneath. I'm going to have to do watering anyway when I first put them in. Okay, so if we're going to go on then, let's have another tale from the allotment, shall we? When I first went to Wales, for the first 2 weeks, I was looking after the telephone, radio, telex machine, answering the phones and dealing with people when they come into the front desk. And the first week I went out, the first job I had to do, Margaret Thatcher turned up in Welsh for a visit, and Newtown. And my job was to look after a junction as she was coming in towards Wellsport. So I was taken out in a van to a place I'd never been to before, and dropped off at this junction. No radio communications because we didn't have them in those days. Told stop at this junction. The straight piece of road going off to my left for about half a mile, and then a straight bit of road going to my right with the junction behind me. I was told that she was going to come through in a convoy of probably 10 vehicles at 10 o'clock in the morning, and under no circumstances was she supposed to stop. I had to stop the traffic and keep the road clear. So I stood there for an hour, and about 5 to 10 I walked out into the middle of the road and get ready to stop the traffic. A few vehicles went past, nothing happened. Come 10 o'clock, me expecting the convoy to come through because I was told at 10 o'clock it was going to be there. Nothing happened. 5 past 10, nothing happened. 10 past 10, a farmer up onto my right started letting out his milking cows across the road. Huge herd of Friesians, I can see them now, and they started crossing the road. And it was 10 past 10, the convoy's already 10 minutes late, they're going to turn up any second, and the bloody, cows are still crossing the road. Nothing I could do about it. They were 150 metres away, 150 yards away from me. So I just had to stand there. Anyway, eventually the cow stopped going across, and I thought, oh, thank God for that. And about 10 minutes after that, the convoy came through, so I stood up there, doing my number one stop sign, stopping vehicles, the non-existent vehicles behind me coming out of the junction. I was the only person there, and the convoy came through. Margaret Thatcher waved, and I automatically waved back to her. I thought, oh my God, what are you doing waving at you should be there stopping traffic, and you're waving to the Prime Minister. And I thought, oh, I'm going to get in trouble now. And then the convoy all whizzed past, and I thought, oh my God. Anyway, about 20 minutes later, I was picked up, and then I was taken down to Newtown because she carried on with a visit down there. And my job this time was standing by the door of this children's home that she was going to come into. So I stood there waiting, and then eventually the convoy arrived, and out she jumped with a Lord Lieutenant, Chief Constable, because in those days everybody attended whenever any VIPs turned up. And as she walked through the door, she said good morning to me, so I said good morning back to her. And then they went, and nobody said anything about me waving to the Prime Minister, which I got off. Thank God I got away with that. Anyway, my claim to fame that day was one of the women working in the children's home I knew, and she came out with a visitor's book, and it's a new visitor's book. It said Margaret Thatcher Prime Minister, Lord Lieutenant of Powys, and Chief Constable this, and all the great and good. And there was a space in the bottom, and she said, do you want to sign the book? So I actually signed my name, PC Sean Westlake, in the bottom of the book, and on the same page as all the great and good. And I'd been out on the street probably about 3 days and at that time. For weeks after, I was expecting a message to come to go and see somebody about me waving at the Prime Minister, but nobody seemed to notice, and I seemed to got away with it. But, another tale from the allotment. Okay then, that's the beans in. They've all had a good watering as well. So I just have to now take this plank away and rake up the soil where I've been walking on it, so it's not compacted, and let the rain do the rest.